we're, we're back, ladies and gentlemen. We're back to the Rob Black Show. How are you all? And we're joined right now by a beautiful, awesome, sexy, you name it, Katie Summers.
Hello.
How are you, young Katie?
Very disappointed.
Why are you?
I need to figure out a new way to make everything this into six figures. Because if girls who are like a 4 can make six figures, how do I not? And I'm not a 4. I'm like an 8. How do I not get six figures? This is insane. I'm doing something wrong.
Join the fucking club. Join the club of doing something wrong. All you gotta do.
And you know what sucks is it's like we're in California. Like, how are we not?
I don't know. Go to talkersmagazine.com. You go to their website and you will see ads along the right side for all of these talk show guys. They got this guy, the Czar, and he's this guy with a hat on and he's smoking a cigar. And it's like talk. That's what I don't know. He's like a right-wing talk guy. You click on it and he's on like fucking 25 stations. How is this guy? Alan Combs. There's all these guys that are on there. They got these women that are on there that I've never heard of, and they're like, yeah, check her out on these 7 stations. Yeah, you're right. I don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea. When we listen in the morning to the KFI, and we listen to those guys, how is it that they have a 6-figure job in one of the biggest markets in radio, LA, and it's them talking about boring stuff, and then they go to Speranza Espinosa, and she's like, hi, so traffic on the 405. There you go. They're making 6 figures, and they're completely unlistenable unless you have nothing to listen to and you just like to listen to talk radio. Like if there was everything else on when we were in the morning listening to talk radio, we would listen to it. But there's nothing else on, so we're like, okay, and we go, wow, they are bad. I don't know. If I could figure that out.
It's like the bad people are the ones that are like really are the ones that make all the money, and then people who actually have presence like us.
I don't know.
I need to go back to school.
Yeah.
That's what I need to do.
Yeah.
Go to AI and become like something in the entertainment that can actually be like how to make money in the entertainment world.
Go to AI. So you could shoot student videos in our building.
No, I would go for like entertainment marketing or something like that.
Yeah. Great. So and yet you see all these people and none of them have degrees in anything.
And you know what, too?
Like, remember who was the one kid, the one new kid that's the big hot movie star, and he was in Venice Beach. Remember we talked about it, Galaxy, one of those guys, and he was basically discovered on Venice Beach.
Oh yeah, I don't remember who it was, but I know who you're
Months
talking
and
about.
months ago, we talked about it. He was in Venice Beach, and somebody was like, "Hey, you look like a good person. You want to be an actor?"
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're making millions, and they're just, I guess, panhandling for fucking change in Venice Beach. Yeah.
Well.
Funny.
No, the reason why I say it is because this girl, I don't know if I said it already, but this girl was a teaching assistant for kindergartners and quit, became a professional twerker, and now gets paid just to say like Coca-Cola during her twerkiness. And I'm like, she has no butt, so So there's like one thing, she has no butt, and she has an ugly face, and makes 6 figures because of Vine. Because of fucking Vine videos. I'm like, oh, whatever. That is what it is.
A Vine, so she's made a Vine video.
She has like a Vine account where she makes those little Vine videos. They're like 6 seconds, and then was discovered on Vine with her 2 million followers. It doesn't. But
It doesn't. It really
but
doesn't. It doesn't make any sense.
It is what it is.
Doesn't make any sense. So it doesn't make any sense.
But yeah, so that's that. How are you?
Another day.
Should we get into news then?
Go for it.
Okay. So Penelope Cruz has been named Esquire's Sexiest Woman Alive for 2014, even though the year is almost over and Esquire should do their Sexiest People Alive in January and not November. But hey, Penelope Cruz is the Sexiest Woman Alive. So congratulations on that.
See, even mainstream magazines operate like the porn industry does. Seriously, it's like when you see, like in the porn industry, and one of the magazines or one of the award shows have a girl that hasn't worked in movies for like 2 years as a host, and we go, how is she? She's not pop. Nobody cares about her anymore. It's the same thing. It's like Penelope Cruz. The last time I heard of Penelope Cruz is she was bitching about the Jews with the boyfriend and talking about the Palestinians. That was the last time I heard of Penelope Cruz. What was the last movie she was in that made hundreds of millions of dollars? What was anything she was in? But now she's the sexiest woman alive on an Esquire. Yeah, bull. She's friendly. She's friends with someone at Esquire. Has nothing to do with, oh, you are the sexiest.
Yeah.
Bullshit. Bullshit. She's friends with somebody at Esquire, or that somebody at Esquire has the political views of Penelope Cruz. That's all done to get Penelope Cruz back in the good graces. Or Penelope Cruz's agent or manager. Somebody is tied in with Esquire and said, people aren't going to hire Penelope Cruz because she said, fuck the Jews, I love the Palestinians, and I need you to help me. So whoever is her representative is juiced in with Esquire, so they put Penelope Cruz on the cover of Esquire and said, okay, this will help combat the Jew bashing from Penelope Cruz.
Yeah.
That's it. That's what happened. So she's whoever's her rep. I don't know who her agents are, but that's why.
I know it did say that she was in a new movie, but it was like came out like 3 months ago. It was like an independent film. And the other thing, and the last thing I know that she was in was Counselor, and what, 2 years ago, the one, or last year, the one with Cameron Diaz, and they were like in Mexico.
Yeah, with the boyfriend. Is that the one with the fucking boyfriend?
Yeah. That's the last thing I know that she was actually in that people were like, ah.
Exactly.
Other than that, I know nothing. But yeah. So, because you mentioned ISIS, and I was like, oh yeah, a really funny thing to go with that. You know that show, the little cartoon show that I watch, Archer?
Yeah.
Well, the final, or the season finale, which will lead to season 6, this is a funny thing, and I totally forgot about this. They're spies. Their spy organization is called ISIS, which is the International Secret Intelligence Service. And so for 5 years, so think about, for 5 years before this whole ISIS thing popped up, for 5 years they always said, gotta call in ISIS, hello, this is ISIS, this is ISIS, this is ISIS, logos ISIS, because it's all centered, because they're spies, so it's all considered around the the spy thing, and it's called ISIS. And so on the season finale of season 5, they have it to where they have movers rolling out the ISIS symbol, and in season 6 you'll never hear it and you'll never see ISIS ever again. And the writer, or the creator, Adam Reed, says that, you know, we won't say it anymore, and he's like, I don't want anybody to think that we're part of ISIS, because we all thought, because he was saying that everyone thought it was like the ISIS thing was just a fad and would kind of fade away and you would never hear about it again. And he goes, no, instead all we ever hear about is ISIS, and we just so happen to have the show's spy organization group called ISIS, which has nothing to do with the Islamic State.
That's funny.
Yeah, so I was like, that's quite hilarious.
That is pretty funny. Alright, well, no more ISIS for them.
No more ISIS, no.
Alright, well, that's good.
Resident Evil is turning into a TV show, and they have they're in the works of it. They're also in the works of the new Resident Evil movie. So when the movie comes out, the TV show will come out, but that Mila Jovovich, she's pregnant, so they can't shoot Resident Evil right now, so they have to start shooting when she's done having the baby and everything. So yeah, so there's that. And then also, the second game, the Resident Evil Revolution 2, will come out early next year. That's Resident Evil.
I watched the Resident Evil a couple times. I wasn't too big into the Resident Evil.
I've never seen it. I think I played the game.
It's the original zombie, apocalyptic zombie vibe thingy. That's how you would say it. But yeah, it's the original apocalyptic zombie. She was like the first. That Mila Jovovich, she was like the first, give me a gun, let me be sexy with a gun, I'll kill things. So.
Yeah, I know that. And wasn't she in something else before this, or was this it? I thought she was in a TV show. Like kind of how they all start.
I don't even fucking know. It's like I don't even know.
Yeah. Well, I think this was pretty much it, considering the fact that she's married to the director of Resident Evil. So it's like, oh, so that's like, you know, that's probably like all you need to do is because y'all both make shit tons of money because people like Resident Evil.
I think she was in the one with Bruce Willis, the space movie. Fifth Element.
I've seen it.
Yeah, she was in the Fifth Element. She was alright. Her, Chris Tucker was in it.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I can totally see that. So yeah. PlayStation, they have their own original series that it's called Powers, which is off the comic book by Brian Michael Bendis. He's the co-creator of this comic book and the co-producer of the series. They showed the trailer at the New York Comic Con over the weekend. What it's about is these two like criminal investigators are out to protect the humans while they're investigating these cases involving superhumans, so like Supermans and stuff like that. So people with super powers and trying to save the world and protect like the actual humans itself and figure out what these superhumans are doing out here. It's 10 episodes. It starts in December on PlayStation.
Yeah, because I take it that this PlayStation Network is starting probably around then. Like they're gonna they're basically trying to create a Netflix style service where you could like they already have something like it where you could download, where you can play the games online, but they're really gonna go, okay, this kind of worked, people kind of responded to it, you know, it's got potential, and now they're going and putting it that step further. So yeah, I think they're gonna, you know, do the whole original series more than just this. They're gonna
start like a whole, like Amazon kind of started doing.
Yeah, well, it's funny when I look at our stats for our server, we have a certain amount of people that actually watch the show and go to the show, go to the website and everything from PlayStation.
Oh.
Like when it looks, it says operating systems. You know, certain percentage from iPad, certain percentage from whatever has, because it lists all the stuff. There's a certain percentage from PlayStation. So we have a certain amount of people that go to our site from PlayStation. So I guess that's cool. I don't know. I don't know. I guess. Well, what do I know, guys? If you
I didn't know PlayStation actually had that kind of streaming type stuff. I mean, I knew they had like the whole online stores, but I thought it was strictly for games. I didn't know that you can, like how the Wii, you can go on like Facebook and stuff like that. I didn't know PlayStation did all that.
Yeah.
But then again, it's the new technology.
Well, it's Sony, so remember, Sony does anything. You know, it's fucking Sony.
Yeah.
And B, they got to compete with Xbox, which is Microsoft. So yeah, they do that, but they're really gonna step it up with the you know, with the original series. I just don't know who. I never heard of the damn thing. Powers.
Well, it's a comic book. It's like most comic books you don't ever hear of unless you're a comic book nerd.
True.
That's like, so like to me, I'm like, I don't know anything about comic books. The only comic books I know are Marvel and DC because they actually are the only ones that are worth anything. So anything besides that, fuck, I don't know anything. I'm clueless about comic books.
You're right.
You have to be an actual comic book person to know every single comic book and go to all those conventions and dress up as those fucking characters. So yeah.
You're right. You're right as always. You're a fucking genius. You're right.
I'm not a genius. I just.
You know, Comic-Con. You know, Comic-Con was this weekend in New York.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
I know. I'm just saying it in a.
There was also a Dallas Comic Con too, because something happened out in the Dallas Comic Con.
They got Ebola. That's what they got.
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking the Dallas Comic Con's got Ebola.
Yeah, that's
For
true.
Christ's sakes.
They do. They do.
But yeah, New York Comic Con. That was.
Oh, I know what it was. That Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
There was somebody that looked exactly like one of the characters, this Chris Pratt kid.
Yeah.
Someone dressed up as his character and kept thinking that it was actually Chris Pratt, and people were coming up to him at the Dallas Comic Con going, "Can I have your autograph? Can I see your
He's like, yeah, sure.
And he's like, yeah, go for it, but I'm not Chris Pratt. So yeah.
Alright, well, there you go.
So there's this new social media thing. Like, remember Slender Man? Remember Slender Man, right?
Slender Man!
Well, now there's Wasco the Clown.
Oh, Jesus.
Now, Wasco the Clown.
Wasco.
Yeah, Wasco the Clown from Wasco, California.
Oh, really? That's from out here.
Yeah, Bakersfield area.
Well, I'm down.
So,
Wasco.
kind of creepy.
Ooh, I'm looking at the picture right now. He's creepy.
That's Wasco the Clown.
He's fucking creepy.
Now, Wasco the Clown has kind of like appeared on Twitter lately, making these tweets saying, you can find me here, you can find me here. If you find me, I'll give you a balloon, being all creepy and everything on Twitter. Well, apparently a group of people have been dressing up as scary clowns, terrorizing people in Bakersfield with machetes and baseball bats and just like standing. Like literally just will stand there and like freak people out. They don't have any like things of saying that like they're chasing after them or anything, unless there is. But a 14-year-old kid got arrested for doing one of these acts, and it was saying that, you know, it was all because of the social media thing that's going on under Wasco the Clown. And Wasco the Clown made a tweet at Real Wasco Clown. I am the evil-looking clown that is roaming the streets of Wasco, California at night. Come find me. I will give you a balloon. But what the police are saying that there's actual, like, because they're doing like all this investigation saying, oh, did this kid make these tweets? And there's like no connection of this clown with this 14-year-old boy. So there is a creepy clown in Bakersfield that is terrorizing people with machetes and baseball bats.
Well, he's not doing nothing.
He's not doing anything. He's just like kind of like, you know, spooking them, getting ready for Halloween.
Hey, man.
Oh man, don't even go through. Like I I'm freaking out. I'm freaking out right now because I okay. I'm terrified of haunted houses. Straight up terrified. Now you can all say, well, they're all fake and it's like, no. I am petrified of things that jump up and just go rah, you know, and I'm afraid of having that feeling that someone's watching me. I'm just afraid of all that stuff. And I've been in haunted houses where I literally cried and got lost and had to have the creatures like show me the way out because I was so terrified. I was shaking. I couldn't.
And tell everybody how old you are.
19. 19, yeah.
Not 12.
Yeah. No.
19.
Yeah.
19.
Yeah. I you know what's funny is I love scary movies, but I don't like scary movies. I like slasher movies. Let me clear that up. I like slasher movies. I like watching people getting cut up in a million pieces and everything. Like that's fun because it's all fake and like how.
What the fuck do you think a haunted house is?
Oh no. Okay, so guys, so this weekend I was, you know, scrolling through Facebook. I was Facebook stalking my really good friend, former star Jackie Joy, and I was like, oh my god, and she like had this post, and she's like, you know, oh, I gotta take me and my boyfriend to this haunted house, and I click on it, and I'm like reading it. It's like in San Diego, and it's like the scariest haunted house ever, where they can like do all this stuff to you. Like you sign a waiver, you have to be 21 and up, and they can gag you, they can flog you, and they can whip you, and everything. And then all of a sudden you see like the trailer. There's like a trailer for it, so I'm like, okay, so I'll click this trailer. Like I'm like, it can't be that bad. And I click, it's the worst fucking thing in the whole entire world. All weekend long, I've been freaked out. I've been like, oh my god, like walking the dogs, and I'm like, what if somebody comes up right now? Oh my god, what if somebody comes up? There's people, like, they grab you, and they like put like tape around you, and they put rotten eggs in you and make you eat it. They put your head in a cage and put like these fake like snakes around you and add all the noises and stuff, and they splatter blood on you, and they make you throw up, and they like do like put you in a coffin, and they like start talking shit to you like, why are you here? You're worthless, blah blah blah. I'm like, what am I watching? Why would you do that? And then like the whole Saturday, was it Saturday we watched it? The whole entire Saturday, I was like, why would anybody do that? Why would you do that? Oh my god. And I'm like freaking out, and I'm like, ah. But then again, you read it and you're like, you have to sign, you fill out a reservation, but then you have to get accepted. So you have to have like part of the health condition, and you can't have anything like this, and I'm like completely terrified. And I remember we're putting up our one of our new things for our new studio, and I'm like in my own daze, and all of a sudden Rochester's like, ah! I like, freak out.
I told Kate over here, she said a couple weeks ago, she goes, you know, I want to go to the Halloween horror nights. So I said, okay, and I've done it before, and I know the process of waiting in line, and okay. Well, you know, these past couple of days, she's telling me about her experience at a haunted house, and about crying and going into those spooky houses where you're walking and people jump out at you. And I said, how old are you when you did that? And she was like, 19. And I'm like, that's like a couple of years ago. I'm like, Jesus Christ. I go, if that freaked you out, what do you think we're going to do at Universal? She's like, and she just pauses. She's like, yeah, maybe you're right. I go, we're going to be walking, and also you hear a fucking chainsaw, and a dude dressed as the Texas Chainsaw Massacre runs out with a chainsaw without a blade on, and gets right in your face going, and she's like, oh no, that's no. I go, I definitely am not going to go with you if you're going to be crying hysterically within the first half hour. She's like, yeah, maybe we shouldn't go to that. I go, literally, they have the thing, and I told her, I go, remember when we did the tour, and you could tour where they had the airplane crash from War of the Worlds, and it's all the you know, it looks like an airplane crash, and you take the tour bus. I go, the Halloween horror night, they let you walk through there. So you're walking through there, and they have scary stuff going on. So you're walking through there, and all of a sudden a dude pops up out of nowhere with a knife. I'm gonna kill you! And you're like, oh, Jesus Christ, you scared the shit out of me. And she's like, oh, no. I go, you're walking. You're just walking along like this. And motherfuckers are jumping out in your face. Or somebody's behind you, and you're walking. And somebody's behind you, and you then go, wow, I feel someone behind me. You turn around, and the person's there. I go, if you cried in a house, you know, in a spooky house, first off, at Universal, there's like 8 of them. So that's all there are 8. But then if you're not in the house, just walking in the park is one big house. And they have the guys they have metal knee pads. So when they run at you and then slide on their knees and sparks shoot out. So like they're like a scary dude will run at you and then jump on his knees, and he'll slide at you, and sparks are coming at you. He's like, and you're like, oh, Jesus. I would do sometimes the scary house, and I wouldn't go first. So I would make the person go in front of me, and that way I could use them as the shield.
That's what you're supposed to do! That's what
yeah.
I hide.
Yeah, exactly!
I hid one time, like, behind one of my friends. I hid behind her back the whole entire time. I was like, I'm not looking, and I actually closed my eyes before. I was like, I can't do this. I'm terrified of haunted houses.
That's crazy.
I don't...
So we mixed that going to a Halloween fright night with the scary one over here. Pay $100 a piece to go and have her be like, I want to go home. I want to go home. I don't like this. This is not... Because it's definitely a lot more intense than whatever little spooky house that you went to and cried. Can you imagine being there with a 19-year-old girl who's like, time out! Time out! Can you please just help me out of the place? And all of a sudden the guy's like, okay, hon, what you gotta do? And it's a guy with blood on him, like, what you gotta do? All right, forget it. Can we turn the lights on? All of a sudden the lights come on, you hear everybody go, what? I'm sorry, I just gotta leave. That
kind of happened.
I told her, I said, if we did that, I would not know you. I'd be like, I don't know her. Isn't that your girlfriend, noob? Well, you came with her. I don't know who she is. No, don't do that. I'd be like, I don't know the girl who is so terrified of the fake spooky house at the age of 26. I don't know this person.
And you know what else? This haunted house that's out in
25.
San Diego is 4 to 7 hours of nonstop torture.
That's different. I would never do that. That's totally different.
Oh my god, that's just... I couldn't. I would probably have a heart attack.
If you were like, if that was something where you're like, I would never, I'm with you. But the other stuff is...
No. Go find someone else to do that with. Not me. You'll never know.
I know. I'm not the one who wants to...
You'll never see me.
Jackadoo. I don't want to do that. You're the one that originally was like, I want to do that.
Because I thought it was going to be like, rides and like, rides. And I didn't expect people to be like, rat, like in the whole entire park.
No, it's everything. When me and you did the park, when we saw Jaws, imagine that entire park spooky now. And every one of those rides we went into are spooky. Everything
is. I could deal with the rides being spooky, but I couldn't deal with just
walking. But when I say the
ride,
meaning like anything that is, they don't have, you don't do like the Terminators and stuff. It's all now walk those spooky houses. That's all they are.
Oh, the rides aren't rides? They take down all the rides?
Well, they don't take them down, but they just don't have the like Simpsons. You're not going on the fucking Simpsons ride. They convert everything into a scary thing. The studio tour.
I get it, because I'm looking at their site, so...
You're not on a studio tour of seeing Jaws. The studio tour now is... walking where the plane crash is, all that stuff. So basically, they convert this whole month into scary shit. Simpsons aren't fucking scary.
Oh, you know what? They do. They have a terror tram.
Yeah, I done that. It's like the studio thing, but it's a terror thing, and you go on it.
I would do that, where I don't have to get up and move.
But you do have to get up and move.
Oh, fuck that.
They let you out, and you walk through, like, the different places. Then remember when we went into where they show where they were made movies? Remember the backlot area? And you're like in a western town.
Oh, like those people that were walking out and going to like the city hall.
Yeah, they do that at night. So you pull up and you get out. And now you're walking. And you're walking and all of a sudden someone jumps out of one of those buildings. And you're like, oh, Jesus Christ, you scared the shit out of me. That's how it is.
No. They got Clowns 3D in this shit. Oh my gosh. It's a maze.
You know what a maze is? That's you walking around.
I know. It's all scary stuff. Music by Slash.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's like a movie thing.
All that shit, man. That shit's just creepy shit. And you walk by and the guy comes out and he bangs on the wall. Pow! Like that. It's horrible.
Nope. I'll do Holiday in the Park. I will wait for Christmas time so we can do all the Christmas stuff and everything's happy and jolly and Dr. Seuss and fun stuff. How the Grinch Stole Christmas. See, I like Christmas. I love Halloween because I get to decorate because it's that. Stop doing that. There's already enough noise in here.
Sorry.
There's the thing I like about Halloween is I like to decorate. I like to do the decoration thing, and I like to watch like the spooky little movies. But I don't like doing that stuff. I like Halloween parties, but I don't like doing it in like, let's go here. I've been like forced like every time, I swear, I've never been against my own will to go to one of those haunted places. I've always been forced by my girlfriends. Like, let's go, let's do it. I'm like, no. They like drag me, and they're like, whatever. There's no way turning back now, and it's the worst thing ever. And then, but I like holiday in the park. Like, I like to do the Christmas stuff.
Alright, well, for come Christmas, we will do holiday in the park.
Yay.
No clown. What's the clown's name again?
Wasco.
Bosco?
Wasco.
Wasco. I like that. I like Wasco.
Well, it's Wasco, California.
Alright. What else you got, Wasco?
Katie Holmes will play Jackie Kennedy again in the Kennedy's miniseries for Razzle Channel. Reels Channel, not Razzle. Reels Channel.
Well, she played Jackie Kennedy before?
Yeah, in 2011 they did a miniseries called The Kennedys. Mm-hmm. And it was like an 8 or 10 episode show.
On Reels? On the same?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And so now it's like season 2. It's the Kennedys after Camelot. That's the name. They start shooting it next spring 2015. So it'll be out, the fall next year probably.
Oh, that's cool. Good old Katie Holmes.
She looks just like her, which is kind of funny.
Good old Katie Holmes. Still trying to get away from the curse of Tom Cruise.
I think that's already done and over with, though. No one really talks about that anymore.
I know, but I guess I just... every time I look at her, I still just see Tom Cruise. So I see just Tom Cruise and Scientology and just weirdo shit.
Their daughter looks just like him.
I remember when they were together, you would see them on every tabloid.
Yeah.
You'd see Katie Holmes with the Surrey kid on every. I mean, it was like, oh my god. So it's just that images are still burned in my head. But anyway, so Katie Holmes, Jackie O, very good. Very proud of Katie Holmes. Very proud.
I forgot to add, speaking of Halloween, American Horror Story, they did opening night. They had 10 million viewers.
Wow.
Over the course of that whole rest of the week, it ended with the end of the week ended with 13.4 million viewers.
Wow.
And they're already renewed for season 5 because they did so good.
Well, you had to figure they were going to get renewed because last year, the year before they got renewed. They're
And I never seen a show get so quickly to be like, oh, we're going to renew you for a new season. Like usually it's like a couple episodes in, they're like, oh.
Well, because they're probably working on a whoever the owner of the American Horror Story, like the producers or whatever they are, they probably didn't have a long contract. It was probably a year-to-year contract. Like when they got done with last year.
Yeah.
What was last year? Coven?
Coven.
So after they got done with Coven, they probably renewed them for another year.
Yeah.
And which would be this one. And they were like, okay, and we'll see how this does, and then we'll do another. So instead of going, we'll give you a 5-year deal.
Yeah.
Because remember, it's FX.
I wonder what next season will be then.
So that's good. It was pretty good. We watched it. It was.
I'm excited about this season.
It was.
Because in the things they're saying that you know how you go, oh, I wonder how they're gonna go with it. Mm-hmm. They said either this new episode Wednesday night or next week's episode will give you that whole I know where they're gonna go with the season.
Got it.
It's supposed to one of those beginning episodes supposed to lead into the rest of the 10 episodes or 13 episodes.
Got it.
I know. I'm excited.
Yeah, it was good. So 13 million people watched that. It's a big hit, man. It's a big hit for FX.
Their biggest show.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for American Horror Story, they probably wouldn't have the money to do the other ones.
Well, you got that, and Louis started it. Lucky Louis, Louis C.K.
Yeah.
So Louis' show was on that got huge ratings.
But I'm talking about this style. No. Not because, for this genre,
I'm with you, but you said they wouldn't be able to do other things. What I'm saying is,
Well, I'm in this
Louis
genre.
and them started them having that presence to go.
Yeah.
Let's do other. We can make other shows.
Yeah.
We could do, anger management. We could do stuff like that.
Archer's on Netflix too.
So, I mean, it's still FX. It's still fucking cable. It's like ABC Family.
But it's
Still
still
cable.
pretty fucking big.
So you still have to have cable to get that stuff.
Yeah. So, Christina Hendricks, remember Joan from Mad Men?
Yes.
Redhead? She's in a new TV show that Comedy Central is doing called Another Period. She plays a woman named Cher, and the show's about a Rhode Island uptight family, the Belleport family, and about them, and she plays this mysterious, family member that you're like,
And what show is it at? What station's it on?
Comedy Central.
Comedy Central.
And it's produced by Ben Stiller's Red Hour Company. It's 10 episodes. They don't have a start date, but we're just letting you know that she's part of it.
I wonder how that's gonna do.
You ready for some sports news?
Give me some sports news.
So, Donald Trump.
Oh, Jesus Christ, with this guy.
Yeah. He is such a hater. And it's seriously, why do you gotta open up your mouth? The Bills have already been bought and everything's good. Why does it matter to you? Because he made a series of rant tweets. And one of the tweets he goes, even though I refuse to pay a ridiculous price for the Buffalo Bills, I would have produced a winner. Now that won't happen. And saying that Pegula better do good with the Bills because he sucks with the Sabres, and it's yo, Trump, seriously, if you wanted the team that bad, then you should have fucking bought it, or just keep your mouth shut, because no one cares what you have to say at this point.
That was his big Trump thing.
Yeah. He's just so mad. It's
so
just
bitter. Ridiculous. Oh God, it's not even worth. First off, there is no ridiculous price for a NFL franchise, considering that very rarely does an NFL franchise go up on the market. History will show, if you go through and look, that most of the NFL franchises get passed down from generation to generation to generation. So, Oakland Raiders, example. Al Davis owns the Raiders. He died. Now the son owns the fucking Raiders. He controls the Raiders. So Al Davis didn't sell it. It didn't go into a trust with his death, meaning when he dies, it gets sold. Jerry Jones is not going to sell that team when he dies. It's going to go to his son, his whole family. So when the Buffalo Bills came up, the last franchise that came up for sale was 10, 15 years ago, something ridiculous. And if you look at the NFL today and how much business they do compared to just 5 years ago, compare that to just 10 years ago. For the Buffalo Bills to be sold for $1.4 billion, that really was a steal. It was a steal, considering how the NFL is as far as business and as far as how hard it is to get a franchise. So Donald Trump is just an idiot. He really is just an extreme idiot. He really is. So, he's so desperate to be in the media spotlight because he doesn't have anything anymore. He's got no TV show. His big run is over. There is no more Donald Trump left.
Yeah.
Like, Donald Trump era is over.
And he keeps getting, like, he's basically getting kicked out of Atlantic City.
Well, you know, he likes to say, well, I didn't own those casinos. I sold them, and they just used my name. It's like, either way, Trump, they're going under. Your name is shit.
Yeah.
Whether you say you didn't own them or not, the fact is, your name was on those casinos, and that means people didn't want to go to your brand. They didn't sit there and go, oh, we've got to go to the Trump casinos. We got to stay at the Trump Plaza. People didn't do that anymore. Nobody went, we got to go to the Trump Taj Mahal. Your name amounted to shit. So rather they owned it and you didn't, your name was still on there. The brand is still Trump brand. And for that, nobody wanted to buy it. So you're shit. He doesn't realize, or he realizes that, but he tries to run from that. But at the end of the day, it's his name. Trump Taj Mahal, Trump Casino. If the place goes bankrupt, you could say, well, they just didn't do good business. What do you mean? Look at their books. They didn't do good business, period. Forget their managing capabilities. They didn't do good business. People didn't come. They didn't go to the casino. It's crap. If your brand was so powerful, you would be in Vegas, motherfucker, but you're not. So, he's an asshole. Anyways, give me something else.
Batista is possibly gonna be in the new James Bond movie as the villain Hanks. Because basically everyone's calling him the next Rock. And he might be at WrestleMania 31. Oh, and also, that's what it was. He also wasn't at the Dallas Comic Con this weekend because there was a scheduling conflict, so he couldn't make it. So sorry everybody that wanted to see the fucking whatever character he was in Guardians of the Galaxy.
But he's not the next Rock because Batista doesn't have a personality. It's funny because if you don't get over in wrestling, you're not going to get over in Hollywood. His character was a character. He was dressed as a character. He had few lines. He was part of an ensemble cast. He wasn't an actor. The Rock started as the Scorpion King guy. So he was in that movie for, 5 minutes. And people went, oh, wow. And then they went, okay, we're going to give him some movies where he has to act. He has to have a personality. But they already knew he did because he was the most popular figure in wrestling. Batista can't even get over in professional wrestling. He cuts promos, and he's horrible at cutting promos. He stumbles on his lines. So he's not a good actor. Wrestling is the ultimate playground to be a actor, because it's like a play. It's like live acting. It's like theater. It's sports theater. He is not a good, and the fans don't like him. Which is completely goes against the notion of putting him in a Hollywood movie and you'll get the wrestling community to go see him. The fans don't like Batista. They don't like Batista. So in turn, it's not going to translate to movies. People liked The Rock. People liked watching The Rock. They loved watching The Rock wrestle. So in turn, they loved watching him in movies. Because the character that he plays in movies is similar to the character that he plays when he's wrestling.
Yeah.
So
That is so true. Oh my god, that's so true that you say that about The Rock. Because I think, and I'm like, oh yeah, like, in that time frame, like when he did, I love this movie, so I have to mention it like every time, The Game Plan. And he played, the cocky guy. It's like, he had this stint where he was the really cocky wrestler, so it went well with the character he played as the cocky football player, And all of a sudden people started liking him, and you're like, your heart felt for him. And then that kind of went involved in, like in that movie, then it evolved into wrestling, where he became like such like a, the biggest household name ever, where everyone was like, I love you, you're great. And then he started doing all like the community stuff and doing stuff for, kids and everything like that. And then it goes to show, then all of a sudden he does Hercules, and he's like this big, like,
or
God,
Pain
and like those characters go with like what he does in his storylines in wrestling.
Yeah, I mean, he is
like, he did Pain Again. He was like the guy that would just shoot and be like action. All of a sudden, you see him and he come out and he'd be like, what? Like, do you smell?
Yeah, I mean,
and then like everybody's like, oh my god. And then he does Hercules, and he's such a god. And like every time you see him, you're like, he's a god. The Rock is a fucking god. Like, that's how you like look at him.
Batista is not a.
He's Bautista.
Yeah, he's just shitty. He's just shitty. You got, you just. Hey, I don't know. Again, they have the Hollywood is. Imagine, and I've always said this before, and it really is the way Hollywood is very similar to how porn is. And when we don't get Hollywood, we have to stop ourselves and think how porn is. In porn, the world that we used to be in, and we, example, when I directed, I would direct some of the biggest movies. I had some of the biggest, budgets and advertising. I got to have the covers of the big trade magazines. I put who I wanted in those movies, and it went by politics. It went by who I was friends with. It never went by who was the best for that role. It never went by who earned that role. It was always a circumstance. Okay, I'll put that person in because I owe you a favor, or I'll do this because of that. I mean, we put girls in different parts of the movie because they were friends with the owner. Things of that nature, and it's the same thing in Hollywood. When you see a Penelope Cruz on a cover of Esquire, things of that nature, somebody that reps somebody. When you see Batista, all of a sudden, he's going to do this movie. He's going to, well, how? What? Who is it that is actually looking at him going, this Batista is going to be the next Rock. And anybody with a half a brain would go, but it's night and day. Batista wasn't the Rock when he wrestled. So how is he going to be the next Rock if he wasn't even the Rock when they wrestled? But somebody that's part of the Batista camp is friends with certain people that have the spot in Hollywood that are making certain movies, and however it happens, they got him into film. Same thing with the Gina Carano.
Yeah.
Who is Gina Carano with that has her in these movies? Because she's nothing special. And it kind of goes to what the Dana White, when Dana White talked about negotiating with Gina Carano, and he said that he has to deal with her Hollywood people, and her Hollywood people are dicks. So whoever she got hooked up with is juiced in to where you see her in movies, and you go, how the fuck is she in these movies? Why is she in these movies? There's a ton of other women that could be in these actions. Why Gina Carano? Why her? Who? And and we always go, who did that person blow? Who did that? But that's the cliche thing. It's deeper than that. It's like, who manages her, or who's friends with her manager or her agent, and what connection do they have to whatever production studio? Because it's just like our world, where you get Apatow. So Apatow was hot for a while. The Sandler crew, hot for a while. The Will Ferrell, Adam McKay crew, hot for a while. So all these guys are hot, and they get contract. All right, that movie you did Knocked Up was awesome. Here's a deal to make 10 more for us. So now they have these 10 movies to do, and they put all their buddies in it. The Michael the Ciceras, whatever his name is, the Seth Rogans, the Francos. They put all Danny McBrides. They put all them in these movies, and you're like, who the fuck are they blowing? It's not who they're blowing. It's the fact that the producer, the Apatow people, got juiced in, and they're that flavor of the 5 years. No different than Adam Sandler. How does Adam Sandler go from being this awesome comic genius movie outputting guy to all of a sudden nobody even wants to go to dinner with him? It's just like our business. Just like our business. How does this one porn guy go from being on top of the world to now they're just nothing? Because who they were juiced in with ain't there no more. So they were getting all their work from Hustler, and they were friends with the producer at Hustler. Well, now Hustler went in a new direction, and that producer's out. So in turn, that person they were hiring has got no job anymore. So now they shift. It's the same thing in these things. So if somebody is juiced in with Batista and has him juiced in with guys that are like, hey man, the next Rock. And they're not big wrestling fans. They're just like, oh yeah, well he was in Gar, look at him, he's huge and he's hulking and the Rock is big, okay, we'll do the same thing. But they don't know the guy's got no personality. Batista's horrible. Horrible. Yeah. And there's only one Rock, because Stone Cold Steve Austin did some mainstream movies, blew big farts. Cena did movies, did The Marine, big farts. There's only one Rock, and the Rock got juiced in with a Hollywood crew.
Probably the ultimate Hollywood crew.
And
too.
They put him in good movies, because it's all about getting those guys good movies. And it's putting them in a movie like the Get Shorty, where he's in this ensemble cast with all these big name people, and someone goes to the theater and Rock is no problem going, yeah, I'll be a gay, hitman or whatever it is. Something so out of left field where people go, that was good. And then it goes from there.
Yeah.
So,
and you're right about the personality thing, because the personality all reflects on the character you're playing. Because all Batista does is going, I'm a big guy.
Yeah, I mean, Batista, there's nothing charming about him.
It's like, and he's like a big goofball, and he's ugly. He's not attractive. There's nothing about him that is like, The Rock has a really attractive face. He has a really strong, attractive body, and it's like he's great with like the presence of people. And it's just like everything about him is attractive. It's like you walk in the room, and you're like, oh my god.
And as gay as it sounds and cliche, he's got a great smile.
Yeah.
He does he could do this thing, and he does the smile, and it's a big smile. The Batista, there's nothing to Batista. The smile, there's nothing. The Rock has
everything.
That look. The Batistas, you know who Batista's like? Hogan. When Hogan was going to be a Hollywood actor, and they put him in movies, and they were farts.
Yeah.
Because Hogan is a shitty actor. actor. Hogan can only be Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
He can only be brother. That's all he can be. And his character is so over the top that when he's a normal character,
It's like
it's not.
serious.
Yeah, it doesn't work. It doesn't work because his character was so cartoonish. The Rock's character was never cartoonish. The Rock's character was, I'm this giant, half black, half Samoan guy that's really arrogant. But that's it's a real character. The Hogan, say your prayers, eat your vitamins, red, white, and blue, and he, hey, brother, and in his voice, The Rock doesn't have a fake voice. Hogan's voice is fake. Let me tell you something, brother. That's all a fake voice.
Yeah.
You can't be like that in a fucking movie. You can't be like that in Hollywood. You can't, hey, brother, how we doing, brother? And when he had to do that, you could only put him in. It didn't work. That's Batista. Batista is this manufactured character by the WWE. And what is somebody can get Batista and go, hey, we're going to put you in this movie where you play a gay bodyguard? It's just not believable. The Rock, that whole movie with the big afro, and he's like, he even had the talk. He even did the whole thing. I mean, he just, Batista sucks. Batista's shit. He's shit. Even Triple H did movies that were shit.
I bet.
He's horrible. I'm telling you, man, wrestlers suck. They really do. Very rarely do you get a wrestler that has a really good personality. Jesse Ventura was a wrestler that was able to make a switch because he's a fucking governor, for Christ's sakes. So he was able to transition from being Jesse the Body and have this wild character, and then all of a sudden he's running for governor, and you're like, I totally believe it. Like, yeah, I get it. Him, Piper, for a brief fucking moment in time. Huh?
Black guy?
No, Roddy Piper.
I thought it was a black guy.
No.
No.
Piper had it for a little brief moment. It's very rarely do you get these guys. The Rock is the only one. Like I said, even Cena, because Cena's character's shit. Cena's not a good actor.
You know what it is too? You know what I noticed? It's always the guys who are shit are the guys that have to keep flip flopping. We're gonna make him a heel, or we're gonna make him a face. We're gonna make him a heel, and make him a face. Because you gotta think, Cena had, transform. The Rock only had one transformation. That was from early Rock when he was like
Rocky. He's Rocky Maivia.
Yeah, and then when he became the Rock, that was it.
Yeah.
And then ever since then, it was like, this is you, and he's been like that for 20 years or however long he's been wrestling for.
He was
Rock.
Rocky Maivia, part of the Nation of Domination. He was like one of the it was like a black militant group the WWE had, where they were basically like the Black Panthers, Islam, like the Black Islam, those guys, and he was part of that crew. And from there, he really then became The Rock, and that was it.
And I mean, you gotta think, and
that character was always The Rock.
Yeah, and growing up, for me, because you were already, in your 20s whenever he became The Rock, but for me, I was a little kid, so whenever I would see wrestling or hear about wrestling, all you ever heard was The Rock. So ever since I was, 10 years old, so for the past 15 years, all I ever known was The Rock as this arrogant, stubborn guy, but had that charm that everybody fell in love with. It's like your favorite bad guy.
He's great. Even when he was supposed to be the bad guy, people still would cheer him. He could never be the real heel. He was the heel that you cheered for. That was The Rock's gimmick. No matter what he tried to do, so they just let him do whatever he wanted, like whatever. They never worried about how you hear with Cena. Are we gonna turn him heel? Or The Rock, it didn't matter. It'd be like, well, if we put him against this person, naturally Rock is going to be the heel, they're going to be the face, but they gave up on that because ultimately you basically, looked at how the fans cheered or what they did, and it was just they just cheered for The Rock. That was it. It didn't fucking matter. As The Rock would say, it doesn't matter what you think, or it doesn't matter what you say. Oh man, he has a new promo. I gotta play you, and that he did with Triple H.
There's all kinds of new stuff going. Daniel Bryan might come back.
It was last Thursday on that SmackDown. They taped it on Monday. They played it on SmackDown where Triple H and Rock go in. They're backstage, and Triple H. It's after The Rock does his thing with Rusev, and he sees Triple H because Triple H is the boss now. He's like, Triple H. He's like, hey man, that was so awesome out there. And Triple H is like, yeah, Rock. And they basically teased them two wrestling at WrestleMania. And it was just, I'll play the promo for it. It's really funny because it's like a comedy bit. It's like a 6-minute comedy bit that ends with Stephanie coming in. It's like, guys, why are you guys? Let's go out to eat. And Rock's like, as they leave, Rock's like, and you're paying, right? And they leave, and Triple H is like going to Stephanie. This guy, he's whispering, this guy last year, the highest paid actor in all of Hollywood, $50 million, and he's expecting us to pay. And Rock's like, I hear that. And Triple H's like, come on, and then they leave. It was pretty good. But yeah, they're teasing The Rock against Triple H for WrestleMania.
And Yes Man's gonna be coming back. I'm excited against Cena.
Oh really?
Yeah, that's what they're hinting. I'm excited.
Why?
Because that's who he took the belt from. So it's gonna be like I know someone else has the belt, but it's gonna be like a whole like Daniel Bryan. Yes. I originally couldn't stand because it was just like the whole thing kind of got annoying, but now it's kind of like because I watched that Total Divas show.
You watched that fucking show.
So now that I watch the show, I'm like, I get it. I understand because you can follow the storyline a little bit better, and it's like you like them because you're like pro Brie and Daniel. So
that is why that show. That is why they did. That's why that show. They made that show.
Yeah.
That's why they made that show. That's why Vince doesn't want the people on that show to have the belt. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, that show gets people over without needing to waste belts. You can put the belt on page, and it's working in the sense of you feel connected with those characters. And if you watch the Total Divas, they're putting more of the guys on there because it's getting the guys over. Because I would actually watch that retard TJ wrestle if they worked storyline, because they're working more of a storyline on the Total Divas with him and the Neidhart, the wife, kind of having problems. So like you're starting to. It's almost like a more developed wrestling show. Like when we do wrestling shows, they're all wrestling. You do storylines and outside of the ring. So you all of a sudden you have the camera there, and it's like the two wrestlers backstage and they're talking. So you get their characters more and you run promos. Well, Total Divas goes deeper because it's actually the real personalities. So you're seeing how they're living. So you're really now invested in those characters, so you want to see them now wrestle. So you're going to see them, I think, trying to incorporate more of the guys. Because remember, Cena's on there. Like, I actually enjoy Cena more because I see him on that stupid show. And you watch him get involved in stupid shit with the girlfriend, and it's just funny.
Yeah.
Watching him, like, it's like, you want me to loan Daniel Bryan money?
Yeah.
He's like, no, He's like, So you get into it more. So it's good. They're doing a good job with that.
Yeah.
Whoever came up with the idea to do Total Divas.
I think it was Stephanie that did it. I think she's the one's like, Dad, give the girls a shot.
I don't think Stephanie and Triple H are that smart, though. That's my thing. I think they're just holding the ship down. I don't see them as the innovators of the WWE.
Well, maybe
I think they're just holding the ship down. So they have an infrastructure that Vince created, and they're just, playing off of it. But the characters and everything that's there is just not.
You know what I think it is? I think it was E originally wanted the Bella Twins to have a show, and they talked to WWE and was like, well, why don't you give all the girls, like, 5 of the girls who are like have big names, the show, and you just have your main focus on the twins, because you watch it, it's basically the twin show.
Yeah.
It's just everyone else kind of follows.
Yeah.
That's probably what happened.
All right.
Yay! Okay.
We're out. We're done.
Yeah.
All right, guys. It's the Rob Black Show. Katie Summers, give it to me.
Au revoir.
That's a lot. And I am Rob Black. We'll see you guys tomorrow at 11. Hey.